Welcome to the Albury WTM Centre. I'm Sarah, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself and my motivation for opening this centre here in Albury. I'm 54 years old. I am the mother of 3 beautiful adult daughters. I grew up on a farm about an hour southeast of Albury, and when I left school I went to Wagga and I studied teaching, and I have a Bachelor of Primary Education, and then about 8 years ago I did a Master of Education in Teacher-Librarianship. So the motivation for opening the centre is really very simple. I just want everybody to know about the information in this book, Freedom, which is written by Jeremy Griffith. And the information in this book is life-saving, life-transforming, and it is the most incredible information that we need here and now on this planet. I've known about this information for quite a long time, but it was only really about a year ago that I made the decision to really immerse myself in this information. And the reason I did that was because I knew that this was true. I knew this biological explanation that the human condition has been solved was true. And I knew that, but I hadn't fully immersed myself in it. So I was walking one day down the street and I bumped into somebody, and they were also listening to this information. And it was just a really, really, really profound moment, because I just felt that there are so few people who know about this information. And I looked around and I could see all these people in the street, all these people were going to work, and they were busy going about their daily lives, and they were busy living the horror of living under the duress of the human condition. And here I was with this information that is, life-saving, life-transforming, and I wasn't actually doing anything about it except I was listening to it and understanding it, but I wasn't actually fully sort of committed to making this just the most important thing for me to do, was to actually work with this information and to get it for me to understand it more deeply, and for me to get it out to the world so everybody could have this information. So it was at that moment that I just went, okay, and I actually made that choice then and there to actually commit to working with this information and helping this information get out to the rest of the world. And it was I know that in supporting this information that I can help other people know about it. And this world needs it so badly. I mean, it is the most beautiful world to be living in, but we all live with such horror and such pain. And if everybody knows about this, and we no longer have to live with the pain of the human condition, then that's the most amazing thing that we can have for humanity. There is a future for humanity with this information in the world. So that's what everybody needs. So I'm going to tell you about how it's transformed my life. And I can tell you that my life is completely different to the way it was a year ago, when I hadn't really immersed myself in this information fully. And I can now wake up every morning knowing that I have the answers to why humans are the way they are, all the answers to any question you could ask in the world about how men and women, about politics. It's just every question that I have ever wanted answered has now been answered. And that just means that I am no longer preoccupied with myself, because I know that I don't have to get up and worry about whether I don't have to validate myself anymore. I don't have to worry about my insecurities anymore. I don't have to. All those worries are now gone. So it's not about me anymore. It's about me being able to do what I can to help everybody else know that they don't have to have those worries anymore either. So it's amazing. And once when you actually have that feeling that you no longer have to validate yourself and worry about yourself, all of that is just stripped away, and you become a calmer, more functional, more more loving, more giving human. And it's just, yeah, it's pretty special. This information will help other people in the world, because they will no longer have to live with the pain of not understanding that the human condition has been solved. They will no longer have to search for the answers. They will no longer have to worry about whether there's a future for their children. That has all now been answered, and so that searching is no longer necessary. And it will actually transform every individual's life, and people will go from being those worried, sad, you know, it just will transform people's lives to a point where they have happiness in their life, they have safety, they have security, they have love, they have all that we need to be able to exist in a world that is just going to be very, very special. Because this information has arrived, and it is for everyone, we can actually make a choice now. We can choose whether to go down that habituated road of pain and suffering and worry, or we can take the choice and take the other road, which leads to excitement and love and freedom for everybody. So those choices are there for all of us now. And I choose to take the one that takes me to freedom and happiness, because it's the awesome road to be on. It's the one that is going to lead to a life full of joy, excitement, wonder, and happiness. Just the relief. It's a feeling, I guess, of relief, and it is the relief, and knowing that there is a future for everybody, and knowing that the pain that everybody is living with now is going to be, it's not going to exist anymore. And it's relief for humanity, it's relief for me. And I think that's what I feel. I feel that incredible relief. You operate on a different level. You see the world in a different way, and you are just, it's just an amazing feeling to know that we don't have to have this pain anymore, and for children to grow up without having to search for these answers, and to know that they're going to grow up in a safe, loving, wonderful world where everything is looked after. Everyone looks after each other. The whole world is just all working together as one to be safe and wonderful and a beautiful place. So I think for the child, they are growing up in a safe world. They no longer have to have the pain that we've had for all this time, and it's going to be a beautiful place to be for everyone. I go straight to the humanity, to everyone, because I walk around, and that's really, really what keeps me connected. I walk around and I see the pain in people's faces, and I see that they don't know that the human condition has been solved. And I know it, and I know that how incredible this information has been in my life. And if that's transferred to every human, then it's going to be pretty incredible. The other day I heard an author talking about her Aboriginal elder relative, and he told her that life isn't meant to be a struggle, it's meant to be beautiful. And I now know that life has been a struggle, and I now know why life's been a struggle for humanity. But it no longer has to be a struggle. It can be beautiful, and it will be beautiful. And it will be beautiful with this information in the world, because this is life-transforming information. So the reason why I'm opening this centre is really very simple, because I want everybody to know about this information. And this information is life-saving, it's life-transforming, and to know that we no longer have to search for the answers to why we are the way we are, why humans have the capacity to be good and evil. Every question that you could possibly ask in this world is answered by this information, and everybody needs to know about it. So there are lots of questions to be asked about this information, but I can guarantee you 100% that every question can be answered. So I'd love you to contact the centre, and I look forward to hearing from you. So thank you for listening.